Hello and welcome to Faith Art Journaling for the Soul. Today I want to share with you how I make stencils from scrapbook paper. This is just a small sheet from one of the kits. And what I like to do is contact paper. You can pick this up at Walmart for pretty cheap. And so you just simply place your contact paper on the side that you want to turn into your stencil. And this is very forgiving paper, so if you put it on the wrong side, you'll be okay to move it. And the reason why I do this is because it protects, obviously, the paper when we use our inks or paints or whatever you want to use. And so I just kind of gently rub it with my hand. And I don't put it on the back. I noticed that last time when I put it on the back as well, it was really hard to use the X-Acto knife and get it on there, get the patterns cut out properly. And then I just take like an old gift card or whatever you have lying around and just smooth it on there. And then once you've got it on there, just simply trim off the excess from the sides. This is a really fun way to make stencils without spending a whole bunch of money. And on top of that, they're very unique. Okay, and then once you get done taking the edges off, simply throw all that stuff away. This is a craft mat, by the way. I got this off of Amazon, and they work amazing. I love them. You can just put your paints on there. You can put anything on there, and it wipes right off. So once you trim the excess, I just kind of try to go over it one more time. This is time consuming, so you gotta have patience, and you don't have to cut out all of the pattern if you don't want to. And I'll just show you some. I mean, it's easy. I shouldn't even, be explaining, but I'm going to show you. So you have to be really careful. I put one of those, what are these? These little cushion things for pencils, because it does get pretty intense. I actually just got feeling back to some of my fingers because I used the X-Acto knife to make so many stencils before, and a lot of pressure. So basically what you do is you just take your X-Acto knife and go over the pattern. I'll just show you a couple because I don't want this video to be extremely long and you to fall asleep. So, and actually what I'm going to do, I'm sorry, I should not be using the craft mat because it'll cut right through that. So we are going to use, I have my handy dandy cutting mat. This is normally used for sewing. So back to where we were, and you just really have to kind of just follow, you don't have to be exact. That's what makes it unique and exciting. And I really hope you can see this because I don't know how the lighting is working right now. You just go over your pattern. Some can be a little more difficult than others depending on how much time you want to spend on the pattern or the stencil. I was just sitting there and I was like tracing out different patterns and stuff onto those plastic sheet protectors, and I got to thinking, what else could I use to come up with a really neat, stencil? And I have all this scrapbooking paper with all these different designs on it, and I thought, well, why not try that? And it turned out awesome. So then once you're done cutting it out, you just lift it up, and there's a flower. Now, obviously, if you want the middle and the outside cut, then you can do that as well. I'll kind of just show you here. Let's see. So you just take the middle, and I like to turn my paper so the X-Acto knife doesn't slip and slice my fingers off. We don't need that today. So then you just pop that out, and so you have the middle of your flower out. Now to keep the white part, I would simply just kind of go on the outside, kind of just a little bit from the white. Now, it's not going to be perfect, but nothing is perfect. And if you hear a bunch of stomping, that is my puppy and my children upstairs. Fabulous. So, just kind of trying to trace the white areas. Now, this will actually be considered a mask because got the middle and then the outside, but it works just the same. So now that I've kind of just given you an idea of how to do this, and I guess you could use that as a mask too, and just cut out the middle. It's really, really easy. So we'll keep the mask, we'll put our lid back, our cap back on our X-Acto knife so we don't do anything destructive. And then I'm just going to show you. So here. So I'm going to show you how these turn out. So for the mask, or excuse me, for the stencil, let's use some Primrose Heidi Swap color. This is Primrose. You really want to shake these up because they have a ball in them and get all the paint, spray ink mixed up really well. And I really like these because it says non-toxic. And I really try to look for those products because you don't need to be passing out from all your fumes. Okay, so easy peasy. You know, I would cut all these flowers out, obviously, to make a bunch. But you just simply take your spray. And sometimes it decides to get really clumpy. So you just take a paper towel roll and roll it. And I just wanted to show you. Let me zoom because I don't know how well you can see this. It doesn't look very good on the camera. So that's the stencil part. I really wish and hope you guys can see this. So I'm going to do the mask now. Now that's popping. That's bright. So let's see what it does. And there you go. There you have it. So if you have extra, you can just take it, flip it over, push it down, because you don't want to waste all that ink. And kind of turned out. So basically, I wanted to show you, and look at that cool design from the paper towel roll. I really like it. Let's see if I can. I hope you guys can see this. I'm learning all the camera adjustments and everything. So, and then what you can do is see all those designs on the paper towel roll. We can just reuse those at some point in our art journal. It's a good idea. So that is how you make a stencil out of scrapbook paper. And I'll show you some of my other examples. And you just, I mean, they come off. You can use a baby wipe or an all-purpose wipe. You know, it all works. And I like to wipe my stencils off so they stay and they last longer. Some of the homemade ones aren't going to last that long, but that's okay because, you know, you made them and that's awesome. So I'll just go over a few of the other ones that I've made, and I really enjoyed this. This was actually very therapeutic for me to make these stencils. I had a lot of fun. Kept me busy. I wanted to show you this one. I just hope you can see it through the... So this was actually a honeycomb design I found online. And I printed it off. And I traced it onto a plastic sheet protector. Oh, there's a star. And I just took my X-Acto knife, and just went to town. And actually, I did this stencil during one of our daughter's surgeries. It kept me busy, kept my mind off of what was going on. Not having to sit there and fret and worry during the surgery. And it's a lot of fun. And I'll just show you an example. This is not as strong as I was hoping it would be. However, it works really well. So you just put it down on your paper. And again, this is a very frugal way to make your stencils. It doesn't cost a lot of money. I think for a pack of 60 sheet covers, $4 at Walmart. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to use a dark. Here's another company that I really, really like. This is Dilutions from Ranger. I really, really like them. And this is what they're called. So we are going to use the cut grass. So you just simply, sometimes you have to hold the stencil on there, and sometimes it'll just stay. But then what you do is you just take the spray. Excuse me for that. So now you see that I've just sprayed a few spots. Some are darker than others, and I like that. So then what I do is I just simply grab a corner and lift up. And there you have it. Now I have so much extra ink on my stencil. I'm going to lay it down here. I'm going to take my paper towel roll, and I am just going to roll you gotta press a little hard. Just try and be gentle so you don't lift it or tear it. I highly doubt they will tear, but it has happened. And then you just lift, and voila. I really, really enjoy making these stencils. Like I said, very cost effective. Don't have to spend tons of money. However, I have found a lot of great stencils that I would never be able to make myself online at the 123stitch.com. And they sell several different brands from Crafters Workshop, Rhonda Palazzari. Who else do we have here? We have by Jamie. There's several of them. So that's how I make my stencils. I wanted to show you a few more examples. This one is... Oh, I just ripped it. You gotta be careful with those. This one's out of scrapbook paper. I think I showed this one on another video. I really like it. This one took me forever. Let me tell you, I think I watched, 4 or 5 sessions or shows of Little House on the Prairie as I was making this one. So it took me quite a while. But I got to watch my Little House on the Prairie and make a stencil, so I was happy. Here's another one, just like the old one. The bigger one. This is a honeycomb, and this is just straight out of the, let me show you. I find a lot of these little scrapbook pad papers at Walmart. I mean, so to give you an example, some of them would be a little difficult, but I think my other honeycomb one is gone, but it was out of this one. So, and these are $2–3 at Walmart. You can find them at Tuesday Morning or Hobby Lobby, Michael's. This is one, excuse me, I've had this paper for years, I think since my oldest daughter was about 2 or 3, and I've never used it, so I thought, why not turn it into an awesome stencil? And it didn't really take that long. The circles and doing the round is kind of difficult, but like this one, it took me a little while, but I really enjoyed it. So it looks like you got some, I did different directions, which makes it look really unique and neat. I really like this star stencil. I cut all the stars out and they're all different, designs. So I really like that one. And if you notice, they're pretty floppy and flimsy, but if you cover them with that contact paper, this one's actually covered on the back and the front, and it was difficult to get the stars out because the contact paper in the back wanted to stay. And my X-Acto knife had a hard time going through all 3 layers. Now there's this big hoop and holler about the chevron, I guess, design. And so I found this one in that little booklet, and I thought it looked pretty awesome. So I went ahead and did that. And this one is not on both sides. This is just on the first. Let's see, I got a few more, and then I will call it a night. This is just a simple diamond. This one's just a bunch of different squares. I did little squares, big squares. It's a lot of fun. This one is another, just a mini diamond. I really like that one. So the possibilities are endless, ladies, when you want to make stencils. It's a lot of fun, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me, and I will be happy to answer them. And we will talk to you soon. Have a good day.